What's up, people? Welcome back to International. A lot of international students think that because they have studied in Australia, they will get their permanent residency in Australia. But in reality, that is not the entire truth. You have to study in Australia to get certain points, or you need to study in Australia in a course to be eligible for your permanent residency, but that is not the only thing. Majority of international students either apply for visa subclass 189, 190 or 491. And to apply for any of these three visas, you will have to meet certain requirements. In this video, we're going to talk about three most important requirements in order for you to be eligible to apply for your permanent residency in Australia. So if you're an international student studying in Australia, or you're an international student who's planning to come to Australia but want to know more about PR system in Australia, then this video is just for you. So check it out. First things first, guys, if you're new to this channel, we create content for international students in Australia. So you will find everything about international students on this channel. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. Hit that like button. And if you find any value out of this video, share this video with your friends on WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram. And when you share on Instagram, don't forget to tag us at internash.co. Getting back to the video. As you already might know, you need to have certain number of points in order to apply for your permanent residency under visa subclass that we just mentioned. Now, out of the three things that we are going to discuss, the first most important thing is English requirement. What Australian government says is that you need to have competent English to apply for your permanent residency. Now, what does competent English means? It means that you need to have 6 each in each of the module, either in IELTS or PTE. But when you have 6 each, you do not get any points for that. When you get 7 each, you get 10 points for that. And if you work hard and you get 8 each, then you get 20 points for that. Now, for a lot of international students, these 20 points will make a lot of difference. So I highly recommend that work on IELTS or PTE before giving the exam. And whenever you give the exam, aim to get 8 each so that it will help you when you apply for your permanent residence. The second most important thing that you need to check is the occupation list. So there are multiple occupation lists: long-term skilled occupation list, short-term skilled occupation list, and you need to have your occupation on either of these lists to apply for your permanent residency. Now, why do these lists exist? What do they mean by these lists is that federal government or state government is saying that we need X number of people in these many occupations. For example, they need 300 accountants in South Australia or 500 doctors in New South Wales. This is just an example. These are not the real numbers, but what you need to check is your occupation is listed on which list. I'll give you an example. I was studying Masters of Business majoring in marketing in Melbourne, and I wanted to apply under marketing specialist. But when I visited registered migration agent, I got to know that I could not apply if I lived in Melbourne because marketing specialist was not on the list to apply for 189. And that's why I had to move to a state which required marketing specialist, and that state was South Australia. So I moved to Adelaide, which is in South Australia, started working in marketing because there were further requirements in order to apply for 491, and now I'll be applying for my 491 visa, which will lead to my permanent residency. So it is really important that you get to know your occupation is on which list and how can you plan your permanent residency if you want to live in Australia for a longer period of time. Now, if you are in Australia right now in this process of figuring out whether you can apply for your permanent residency or not, and you want us to connect you guys to a registered migration agent, then we have given a link in the description of a form. Fill up that form and then we will contact you and help you connect with a registered migration agent. Before we get into the third most important point, which is about skill assessment of your degree, I want you guys to follow us on Instagram because we are creating the biggest community of international students. And when you follow us on Instagram, we will keep you updated with events that are happening just for international students. What are the news for international students regards to the border, or what is happening regarding COVID in Australia? So don't forget to follow us on Instagram. Moving on to the third most important thing that you will need in order to apply for your permanent residency, and that is skill assessment. Now, what do I mean by skill assessment? Now, government needs to recognize that you have skill assessment in the occupation that you're applying. So, for example, I am applying for marketing specialist. Now, in order to get my skill assessment, I had to have 1 year onshore experience as marketing specialist. Also, I need to have a degree which is closely related to marketing. And when I have these things, I need to show that to the assessing body. Once they assess my application, then they give me skill assessment. Now, this is specifically about marketing. Regarding engineering, you can either do a professional year or you can work in your occupation for 1 year. You need to have your degree and then you can apply for your skill assessment. And that will be different for each of the occupations. So you need to know how will you get your skill assessment first, because that is one of the requirements in order for you to apply for your permanent residency. Now, because you're still watching this video, I'm going to give you 2 points in order to get some extra points. A lot of international students study for NAATI exam. That is an exam that tests your knowledge about a certain language. For example, a lot of people from South Asia can give a NAATI exam in Hindi or Gujarati or Punjabi. It depends whether your language is listed on their platform. If it is listed, then you can give NAATI and gain 5 points extra. Also, when you work onshore in your field, you get 5 points extra for that as well. If you want to know more about the point system, we have a specific dedicated video to calculate your own points. I will give the link in the description below. Well, hope you love this video, guys. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. If you haven't shared this video, share this video with all your friends so they get to know what to do for their permanent residency in Australia. And at the end, don't forget to like this video. See you in the next video.